Today should be the finale. Sound check, sound check. I can hear myself just fine over there. Alright, let's get this started. So, turns out we are going to have a fairly long part, because I did not get to do much off-screen. The only thing really that I was able to accomplish off-screen was getting the bow training done. So actually, let me pause the game here, let me mute it, and let me show you the recording of my last and most successful attempt. This took 45 minutes of trial and error. Let me mute. Let's see. That would be this one. Just mute it for a minute. And let's play that. So yeah, you saw there that I had a B rank. That was what I was getting from my last few attempts. I was getting B's. I never got an A rank. I got D's and then eventually C's and B's. And yeah, the trick ultimately ended up being, for the vast majority of these targets, just aim in that same direction that I'm pointing right now. For that shot, you needed to do a quick jump, or at least that's what worked for me. I can get it to where I hit both targets with A rank, but I don't think that attempt was a very successful one. But it doesn't matter. I got a lot of like C rank hits on some of these boards, and really the most crucial points seem to be the points that you get for not missing a single shot, and also for hitting all of the boards. And yeah, that stupid magnet was the thing that kept me down in B rank until I finally figured out a way around it. And there you go, there's an S rank. You don't have to be completely perfect. And there we get Cashua's bow. I equip it just to try it out, and it's okay. I mean, considering the point in the game where you could have gotten it, it's a nice kind of rapid-fire bow, as you can see over there. But of course, we already have better bows than this because we're at the end of the game. But yeah, there you go. I just got this like 15 minutes ago. Okay, let me go ahead and turn sound back on. And also, let me go ahead and remove this from OBS so that it doesn't cause us any sort of problems. I don't think it would, but you never know. Accidentally pressing it and hitting play on it is a thing that can happen. Okay, next order of business is the gap in the map that I was trying to tackle. I tackled it from the left and the right and from below, but what I did not try last time is tackling it from above. So let's go ahead and warp over to there, see what we can do about that. I guess I want to warp to the brown area. Oh, and I'm almost level 49, I see. Okay. Yeah, let's do this. On the right track. Okay, so over here, this looks like it goes somewhere, and I did look it up, and yeah, this part of the map can also be filled. So what you need to do is just keep jumping here. I think you have to jump a total of like 40 or 50 times. And also, if you look at the background, that's a QR code. That right there, that column in the background is a QR code. You see the 3 little squares that guide it? It's a QR code. You can scan it with your phone, and I didn't do that, but apparently someone who did do it said that it says something like keep jumping here or something like that. Jump here to get treasure, whatever it says. But yeah, that's a QR code you can scan. Not the first game to do this, by the way. I played a game that, unfortunately, the developer of it is kind of a jerk, and I found out after the fact, but it's a game called Fez. Oh, and there's the platform starting to shake. And there you go. That is the Soul Cruncher. Let's see the description on it, and then I'll continue talking about Fez in a minute. Okay, Soul Crusher has an attack power of 70. Soul Cruncher has an attack power of 28. Considering how early you could have gotten it, I'm not surprised. What does its description say? A joke item, unrelated to the Soul Crusher. Okay, well, we needed it for weapon completion, so there you go. I was on Tomahawk, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Another thing we need to do is complete our bestiary, so we are missing, apart from the final bosses, we are missing a giant rat. Oh god. Everything is showing as new. We're at the end of the game and everything is still new. I saw somebody in the Steam discussions of the game complaining about this. I think it was from back when the game was still in early access. But yeah, they never fixed it. So yeah, this giant rat. Apparently we have encountered it before, but it ran away from us. There's one specific room where it's located. And yeah, it looks like we've got a final boss and then probably a second form. Anyway, the next place we need to go to is actually going to be back in the gray part of the map, the Knight's Mansion. Oh, speaking of, the name of the newest location we got. The name of the newest location we got, I was able to pause and read it after the fact while reviewing the footage, and it translates to Memory's End, or End of Memory, however you want to phrase it. So I guess we are living through some sort of memory. Okay, down here. So, what we want to do is activate invisibility because this rat runs away from us. Oh. There we go. Yeah, there it is. And now it's in our bestiary. Or at least it should be. was number 56, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. A meter-long rat runs away upon sensing humans, so there you go. Another thing I read about is that... what's his name? Woodchuck, the guy in the gambling room, will actually call you out on save scumming. So that'll be interesting to see, because now it's time to get all the other weapons. Oh, wait a minute. I see an open room over there. Right across from that last save room to the right. Huh. Why did I skip that? Well, let's go get it. I'm still disoriented by the way that thing scrolls. I hate the way smartphones have ruined scrolling. At least for me, they've ruined scrolling. Straight to the right. Oh, I can't go straight to the right. Never mind. Whoa, that was quite the jump. I guess I never really allowed the claw beasts to show me what they can do before. And I do have maps open on my tabs at the ready in case I need them. I haven't really looked at them, but if I need them, they are there. Okay, this way. Need to go up and over. Okay, and then down and straight to the right. How did I miss this room? Oh. Wait a minute. What? Yeah, I can't go through here. I suspected there was something about this part of the wall, but I guess we open it from the other side. Another thing I just remembered. I forget what the name of the achievement was, but the achievement we got where Deedlit paused after the ashram fight and said I don't want to level up this way. apparently, the way you're supposed to get that achievement, the way you're intended to get that achievement, is by standing still and letting your spirit just attack enemies while you're, I guess, I don't know, away from your device, doing literally anything else, just auto-farming XP. So the idea is that you're supposed to do it against those reviving enemies like the Oaks or the Dragon Tooth Warriors or whatever they were called. Let me see. Yeah, against these guys or the Oaks. Or these guys. Do it against reviving enemies, hide somewhere that is out of their reach, and just let your spirit float over to them and attack them and auto-farm them. And that's how you're supposed to get the achievement. But apparently it triggers in weird ways for other people. Like, you can just attack standing in place, farming those Oaks over and over again, and some people have been reportedly able to achieve it that way, because I guess in this attack animation you're still considered standing still as long as you're not moving while attacking. So the developers, I guess they put too much emphasis on the standing still aspect of it and not so much on the lazy auto-farming aspect of it. Okay, what happens if I go through here? There's supposed to be... No. They look like they're supposed to be connected, but they're not. Or maybe they were connected and then the environment got altered? Wait, wasn't that a boss room? I think it was. Maybe that's what it is. Anyway, I never went through here. Ah. Okay. And that should update our shop. Now we should have every single possible thing available. Let's go ahead and count how much money we would actually need to buy out everything from Ghim over here. Let's see. 230 plus 400 plus 600, so that's 1230 already. Okay, 2130, 3230, 5230, 8230, 12,230, 18,230, 28,230, 28,530, 29,30, 29,730. I'm just gonna say 1,000. So 30,730. I guess that would be 3680. 31,480. 32,980. I'm gonna say 33K. 34,700. 37,200. 40 and 700. Unless I've lost track of my math. 46K 700. 56K 700. 56,700 is the amount that we would need, roughly, somewhere around 57,000. And how much did I have? I have more than half of that, so I just need to double my money. Okay, well, we do need to finish farming all the different drops from the enemies that we didn't get the drops from. So let's have a look at our bestiary, and probably along the way we'll make some more money. And then we'll see about cheating Mr. Woodchuck. Okay, let's go through the list from here. Did I get this item from the Lifeless King? I think I did get that last time. Oh, wait, I can look at the weapon list, of course. Weapon number 3 I don't have. Weapons 8, 9, and 10 I don't have. And 14 and 16, yeah, we're missing a lot of weapons. Many of which are purchasable. Okay, I think this is the one from the Lifeless King, so we did not get that one yet. And I think I know what weapon 37 is. I accidentally spoiled myself on it while researching. But apparently it's a reward that you get from perfect clearing a boss. Which is not a foreign concept to me. I've played... There's a game called Momodora, Reverie Under the Moonlight. That game gave you bonus items if you were able to clear the bosses without taking any hits. And if you practiced it enough times, it was very achievable. Like, it wasn't... It was one of the easiest games that I've ever played in terms of achieving that. It's one of those games where that was very easy to do. Like, you have to try, you can't just not try at all, you have to actually be trying, but it wasn't like, what's the word? It wasn't a punishing experience. It wasn't, you didn't have to redo the boss over and over again for hours. It was like, maybe 20 minutes of retries to learn the boss patterns, and maybe a little bit of luck, and you had it. And maybe setting up the right equipment, setting up the right gear and stuff. Anyway, I need to get... I guess we're gonna go after the Lifeless King on our way back to the final boss anyway. So let me go ahead and warp over to, I guess, the beginning area. Let me check my bestiary. Let me go through this and see what I have. I know I got the Imp's weapon, and I know I got the Goblin Club. I sold it, and I never got another one to drop. We got the Vulture's Bow last time. We have this. We got the Kobold Axe. I don't think we got the Goblin Bow. I don't think we do. I don't think we've got it. I know we have the Medusa Bow. And I know we got the one from the Shade. So far it's Goblin Bow. Oh, we're using this weapon. And we farmed the Valkyrie last time. And we have the Dryad Bow. And we have this sword. Thankfully the rat doesn't drop anything. Oh. Okay, never mind. Most of our missing weapons are just purchasable. Okay, then that means, let me check the bow list. We definitely don't have, yeah, that's gotta be the Goblin Bow right there. Oh, never mind. We do have the Goblin Bow. Okay, so it's literally all purchases, except for the one from the Lifeless King. Okay, let's go gambling then. Let's see, what would be... I guess we have to take this upper path. The map implies that you can take the lower path, but no. It's blocked. Okay, goodbye. Oh, save room's down that way. And... right, it's not connected to the warp room. Gotta keep going. I like that combo. That was a close call. Okay. Gambling room, I guess, would be closest to this one. And there's a save room right before it. And I guess I'm gonna go and try and farm regular goblins just so I can see. Is the Goblin Club gone forever now that I've sold it? Or did I just not farm enough? I'll give it like 10 minutes of farming attempts. Oh, wrong door. Alright. Sure. Let's do this. We've saved. Oh, yeah, here's another detail. So, on the top, where the blue down arrows represent small rolls, 4 to 10, and the red arrows pointing up represent big rolls, 11 to 17. I realized in hindsight, after finally understanding, you know, the blue and red dice that appear under the descriptions of enemies, I finally realized blue is always for numbers 1, 2, and 3, while 4, 5, and 6 is always red. So, blue dice represent low rolls, 1 through 3. Red dice represent high rolls. The lower the roll, the weaker you are to the element. If it's in low roll territory, if it's in big roll territory, the higher the number, the bigger the resistance. So an enemy with, say, a 6 die for fire is completely immune to fire, while having a 5 die for fire means that they can still take damage from fire, but they're gonna take less damage from it than they would from other elements. Anyway, let's go ahead and put... how high of a bet can we go? I love how the sound effect just revs up. Okay, let's do... I guess we would want to do 6,000 on each. That's how we can divide it up. I guess 6,600 to be more precise. Okay. Whoops. There we go. Oh. I divided by 5 instead of 6. My bad. Let's pull that money away. Okay, dividing 30... 5,500, that's the number. There we go. Adjust that to 5,500. There we go. Okay, roll. If this fails, we reload. We got a double. And an achievement. Bet all your assets when gambling with Woodchuck. Well, we didn't bet everything. We still had 36 left to our name. But there you go. We've got our 60k. We're done. But I want to see this part where he calls us out on cheating. Let's just do something small. How about 100? Okay, and now we reload the save. So you exit. Reload the file. I don't know how many times you have to do it before he calls you out, but we'll see. I guess it doesn't matter what the size of the bet is. I imagine you have to win a lot of money, too. Okay, so if we just run with this now... I imagine we have to save our wins. Wow. When you actually want to lose. Yeah, I think you probably have to win a couple of times and save the wins in order to trigger it. At least if I programmed something into a game that was like this, that's how I would do it. If you want to detect cheating, the player has to actually benefit from the cheating. Okay, I'm gonna say that that's enough wins. Maybe if I put up everything and lose it. Maybe it does have to do with the amount. Nothing left. Okay, roll and hope we don't win. Okay, and now end game, back to title screen. Okay, if it does have to do with the amount, then we are about to witness something. You reset your save data, didn't you? We don't allow cheating here. I'll let it go, just this once. Oh. Okay. But there's more to it than this. There's more to it than this. Let's see if what I just did will trigger the other thing that was mentioned. Nobody cheats twice. Get out and stay out till I cool down, got it? Yeah, you're not allowed. You're not allowed to gamble anymore. Just like casinos in real life. If you win too much, they kick you out. Because at the end of the day, they're not interested in being fair, they're interested in having predictable, reliable profit. Just another reason not to gamble. Oh no. I saved myself. Okay, we're good. And yeah, now we have all the money that we need in order to buy all of Ghim's goods. Warp is down here. Okay, where is... Oh. There it is. That's going to be the closest thing we have to a shop. We'll see if the weapon achievement... Actually, no, the weapon achievement won't trigger here because we're still missing the Lifeless King's weapon. Okay, give me everything you've got. This is going to be a nightmare to sift through in the weapons menu, but for the sake of achievements, it has to be done. I was interested in the Emperor Sword, so I might want to test that out. And the chainsaw, that one, probably a joke weapon, but we've got to see it. I mean, something as ridiculous as a chainsaw in a medieval fantasy setting. That's gotta be quite the spectacle, right? Right? Okay, that is everything from Ghim's shop. Oh, that's a regular goblin right there. Let's see if we can get a goblin club off of you. Or if selling weapons is permanent. There's no way. Oh, it dropped. I saw it. Maybe I should switch to wind. I think the flames are... No. Oh, there it is. Yep, it dropped. So we can get a new one after selling it. Now the question is, can you get multiples of the same weapon? Probably not, because I don't see anything in this menu that shows like your item count. Unless maybe they just write a ×2 at the end of the name. Maybe. Given that it's already happened twice in like 3 minutes, I think it's worth trying out just to see if it'll happen at all. But I'm leaning towards no. I guess it doesn't hurt to farm the demon too, or the imp rather. Because they also have a drop. Yeah, I'm seeing nothing. Looks like the answer is a no. Oh, also, I remember seeing in the achievement list there was an achievement for attacking Ghim. Does that change his attitude towards us? Doesn't look like it. Okay, I think we've done everything we can. All that's left is to farm the lifeless kings, and then we're good to go, right? Let's see. Weapon list. Yep, just the lifeless king's weapon, and then the special sword. And then I think the bow list is complete. Yep. Okay. Warp is that way. And let's see, where do we want to warp to? What would be the most convenient way to get over there? I guess purple zone. on the right track. Just who I was looking for. So much for playing it safe. Oh, there's a save point. We'll take it. I was anticipating a lot more farming. I didn't realize I was collecting weapons so thoroughly throughout the game. I guess it's because not that many enemies have weapons to begin with, and a lot of them just dropped their weapons for us by coincidence. Like I said before, the drop rate on these weapons is not very terrible. It's high enough that it can happen just by happenstance, which is exactly what happened for a lot of our weapon pickups. And for the ones where you have to farm deliberately, we saw it didn't take too long. Though maybe this one will prove to be an exception. Nothing. What scares me the most right now is that it'll drop and I will just move to the next room out of habit. Okay, this one looks like it's going to be a challenge to get. Oh, not enough mana. Okay, mana refill. I just realized I never finished my commentary about the game Fez. So, Fez was a game where you played as a two-dimensional creature that gets introduced to the three-dimensional world. So, the name of the game is rotate the 3D world and move across a flattened version of it. And It's not a bad game for learning spatial reasoning, for mastering your geometry. I would definitely recommend it based on just its value in your math studies if you're somebody who's going to be doing something that involves a lot of math, a lot of moving and rotating things mentally in your head. But of course, as I mentioned before, the developer is kind of a jerk who probably doesn't deserve to be rewarded, so yeah. Maybe find something similar. There are definitely other options out there. There should be, anyway. I'll have to look. I think there might be, like, among my puzzle games. Or at least ones that I've seen advertised. There's gotta be something that is, like... I don't want to call it a Fez-like, but... something that plays on the same concept. Taking a 3D world and flattening it and navigating it in 2D. Actually, I think one of the games that I added to my wish list, an upcoming game, had a concept similar to that. But I don't remember its title, which is why you put it in the wish list, so that you don't forget its existence. Wow. They're really not dropping, huh? This had better be some weapon. Let's recharge our mana. And I did it so much I leveled up. Can we go past level 50, I wonder? Let's see. Oh, yeah, there is a next. There is a next. Our current experience is 22,788, and we are less than 1,000 experience away. I wonder what the actual level cap is then. Don't tell me it's 100. Or 99 is probably what can fit into the UI. It doesn't look like it has room for 3 digits unless they shrink the font size in there, so... 99 is the upper limit. At least what I presume to be the upper limit. But I would hope they cap it at something like 60, if not 50. I guess they expected people to farm and grind. Which I did not really do. Oh, and I just noticed that other tiny number in the corner of the screen. What is that? My frame rate? It keeps on bouncing around between 60... 61. Yeah, that's gotta be a frame rate. I guess that's there for the people who care. I, for one, do not particularly care about frame rates. Couldn't be me. 30 frames per second is good enough. I'm sure I've incurred the wrath of somebody out there by saying that. This weapon does not want to drop. There it is! There we go. Vampire. Okay. Let's see what kinds of weapons we've got. The War Scythe. Yep. About what you'd expect, a long sword. Heritage. Oh, wait. These are weapons we've had before. Where's the new stuff? Now there's a literal longsword. Okay, this one's fast. That makes up for its lack of a wide swing. Well, I mean, the swing is still pretty wide. It's just not as wide as my tomahawk. Dragon Buster. Okay. We could have gotten this early. Same thing with the giant sword. Death Spear. Okay. Shaped more like a lance than a sword. Or a spear, for that matter. I wouldn't call that a spear, either. Unless I'm just looking at it backwards. No, the way she's using it, yeah, it's more like a lance than a spear. I'm not seeing it wrong. The hilt is in the top right of the little icon. Okay, Emperor. Okay, and it's just an ordinary sword. Chainsaw. Oh! You hear that sound effect? Oh yeah. Hold on. How does the chainsaw compare with 61 attack power versus the tomahawk is 58. 3 less attack, but twice as fast. I think the tomahawk is still gonna be our winner. But yeah, that is funny. I wonder if I hit something with it. Do I get like a blood effect? No. I guess that's expecting too much, but it would have been cool if that was something it did. Okay, really fast, short range. New Goblin Club and the Vampire. This blade of the lifeless king invites death. I didn't even look at its attack power. Attack power 65. Considering how hard it was to get. Yeah, not bad. Is that the highest attack power we've seen so far? I think it is. No? It's weaker than the Soul Crusher. And the same as the Desperado. Okay. Back to the tomahawk. And then the other thing was bows. Let's see. Kashua's bow, a well-worn bow once used by King Kashua himself, or Kashu, or however it's supposed to be pronounced. A light yet sturdy bow made using archaic methods, a mechanical bow made from various materials, a bow made from 3 materials giving it enhanced range and power. Large bow decorated with the hide of a giant serpent. A bow equipped with futuristic implementations. An ancient legendary bow holds great historical value. A light bow with futuristic accoutrements. I think we tried this one out last time, didn't we? A bow made from the scales of a dragon. Arrows cut from a tree hit by lightning holds powerful magic. I guess if we're just doing straight shots, that might be the best bow there. Never mind, Indra's better. But I remember reading there was a bow... Yeah, here it is, Magician. A bow that can fire 5 arrows at once. And this only decreases my... Let's see, I currently have the homing bow equipped. The Magician is just 1 speed down from there and, well, 7 less attack. Oh, yeah. This would have been nice to have earlier in the game. But now that I've got the homing bow... I don't think I need that. Oh. Hold on. There we go. Like I said before, I've got their number, and this is the wrong way. That was close. I need to go to that upper level. And off screen. There we go. Ah. Ah. There we go. Yeah, this is the path. Okay. I'm assuming we will be 100%ing the map with this last room. If not, then I'm not sure where to go, but like I said before, I have maps at the ready. Oh, there was a warp room here. Of course. I didn't have to wind through all those labyrinthian catacombs to do all my backtracking after all. All I had to do was move forward just a few more rooms. Castlevania reference? Climbing up, well, I guess it's not a staircase, but... Oh no. There we go. Okay. What do we have here?
This world is comfortable. I want to stay here forever. You do too, right? That's why you discarded the place you truly belong and desired this world.
I have no idea who's talking.
Hey, Deed. Have you escaped?
Okay, I guess we're one of the things that I speculated in the beginning, I believe, is that something awful happened in the real world and Deedlit has gone to whatever this realm is in order to avoid dealing with it. And yeah, I think that's what's up here. I mean, this place is called the End of Memory. So I guess maybe this place is some sort of memory realm. Hiding in the past because the future feels like something that we don't want to deal with, maybe?
The only place for you is here. You don't want to leave this place. If you felt so, even once, you would no longer be here.
Is it the voices of... No. Because that voice is encouraging her to stay. These guys are telling her to return to where she belongs. Accept the truth. Oh, and these are not gonna disappear for some reason. Oh, wow. I don't know if I like the way this map is kind of coiling around. Also, there might have been hidden stuff over here that I overlooked.
Love, dreams, rage, revenge. These are just excuses. You simply attempted to learn what lies at the end of this journey, in an attempt to avert your eyes from that which you truly must know. You try to avert your eyes from reality and fear.
Yep, something bad happened, and I'm willing to bet it has something to do with Parn.
Does this battle ever end? This question plagues you. But it is you who has chosen a battle with no end. Who chose to remain in this imaginary world? Who chose to remain in this imaginary world? You did.
If adventure is what you seek. Oh, wait. Are they just repeating the exact lines from when we came across them in the beginning of the game? Because I remember that line. Anything breakable here? I don't think so.
All you need to do is stand up and go outside. If you wish to leave this imaginary world, that is. You have no need to even consider living in this world.
You seem quite lost.
Parn! Deed, come on! Wait, something's wrong. This world, my consciousness, my memory, it's... If you want to live with the one you love, you must prepare yourself immediately. You must prepare yourself immediately. Prepare. Prepare myself. To be with the one I love, I must prepare myself.
Oh, another thing I thought about over the week. The implication of the color green in this game. We've been seeing a lot more green the closer and closer we get to the end, and this whole area is just flashing green, and every time we had those weird cutscenes, there would be a little bit of, like, green, what would you call it? I guess, for lack of a better term, static? Green static and haze on the screen whenever it cut to one of these sorts of scenes. And that one time we had to gather 5 soul keys. They were all green spirits that turned into our keys, and they were in the form of our friends. And yeah, just the name of this place. I guess the story is something bad happened, and we're stuck in a dream world / memory world. I mean, I guess it can be both. I don't know what dreams would be based off of if not memories. So yeah, all along it was a story about moving on. Ah, save point. Good. That means I don't have to go through this whole entire loop over and over again.
Deed, you've come. This world belongs to you and me. Now we can be together forever. Parn, my knight. I remember clearly now. You lost your life years ago.
Oh, years ago? How long has it been?
The real you is dead. What are you talking about? This is our world. You have reached the end of your life in the most befitting way you could. I remember everything.
Oh, maybe it wasn't something bad that happened to him. Maybe it was just... he's human and she's an elf, and typically in most settings where elves exist, they tend to be a long-lived race. It wouldn't be the first time I've seen a story where a being that can live for a very long time struggles with relationships with other beings that have much shorter lives in comparison.
If that's so, then who are you? If going against the providence of nature, out of my desire to be with you, if my consciousness created you, then what I have begun, I will finish myself.
Oh, fight time. And map 100%. Okay, we have confirmation. Ow. Weak to darkness, immune to light. Oh, he's healing. And I'm dead. Too late for level 3. Okay. Well, now I have a plan around that lightning attack that, what's his name, Slain does. Also... Aw. Okay, those seem to be predictable attack patterns for now. Okay, that's similar to Ashram's attack pattern right there. That looks like my best opportunity to attack right there. Oh. Okay, I don't want to finish them off because I want to try and no-hit this. Huh. When I want to die, it's a lot harder. Who would have thought? So the only one I really need to watch out for is Woodchuck. He shouldn't be too bad as long as I see him coming. Just start low and go high, or start high and go low when he comes out, and it should be fine. And then dodging Parn's attack. Yeah, there we go. Oh, and I should probably set Shade to be my equipped magic at the save point. Ah. Okay, we can cut off the healing, so that's not too bad. Stay grounded for that. Okay. So, it's really just watching out for these magic walls. Actually, I don't think we ever got a name for these things. The fire and wind elemental whatever those things are. Okay, switch to dark. Save. And let's give this another try. Ah. Oh, and Shade protects me from... Wait a minute. Shade gives me temporary invincibility. Yeah! Okay! I did not know that. Well, that justifies the 30 MP cost. Maybe that's why I was having such a hard time dying that other time. Okay. Just need to find a more consistent way to avoid Parn's attack, which I think is just a matter of, yeah, doing that. Oh no! Not high enough. And the only thing Ato does is heal. So, interrupt him and that phase is over quick. Yeah, this shouldn't be too bad. It just takes a couple of tries, but should be doable enough. This isn't going to be a soldier's situation where I'm fighting it for like 4 hours trying to get it. Ah. He sniped me in the end. Well, actually I want to die and retry this. Wait, I don't even have to do that. What am I doing? I can just... yeah. I forgot that that was an option. Oh! But then I have to sit through this? No, wait. Yeah, there we go. Ah. Okay, let's try that again. You have to hold the... Oh no. You have to hold the pause button in order to speed up cutscenes. That's what it is. It's not a skip, it's a speed up. Hold. Ah. So close. So close. I should have just tried to dodge that hit normally instead of relying on the invincibility frames from Shade. Yeah, I'm just getting sloppy and trying to kill him too quickly is my problem. I'm being a little too aggressive for my own good. There we go. There it is. I saw it. Oh, a giant barn. I'm guessing it's him speaking. Why? Why? Why do you deny me? You wanted me. I welcomed you happily. So I guess this is who was speaking to us earlier while we were looping around through this last area. You've overcome your test, and now your wish shall be fulfilled. And yet, why? Giant eyeball, of course. Okay, Barn Sword. Let's see how good this is. Barn Sword, attack 75. Well, that's the highest I've seen in this game. Speed 73. Something tells me we're not going to be using sword attacks against this enemy, though. Call it a hunch. But let's see what we can do. Oh, and I saw that over there. Hold on, it's covered up by the achievement. Oh, gotta dodge the eyeballs too. It's immune to dark. But weak to water, it looks like. It's immune to dark and light and earth. But weak to water. And given its size, yeah, Undine should be able to shred through this thing. I can attack it with this. Oh god. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to get through that move. Other than just, you know, not being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Oh, right. Floating eyeballs. Ah. Just as it went invincible. Oh. And I'm dead. If I retry... Oh, it takes me here, but do I have... No. Wait. Does that mean... Oh... Oh no! I have to do this first phase perfectly. And survive the next phase. Aww. That's kind of mean. I was expecting it to be like Ashram's second phase, where if you restart, you restart from that second phase. But it's okay. It's not like this first phase is too much of a challenge. Ow. Ah. Oh, not enough mana. I was wondering why it wasn't triggering. Ah. I was too close to him. Whoops. Oh, that's too close for comfort. Ah. The things I'll do for a weapon. Oh, so close. Again, I'm just being too aggressive, but I want to get it done so I can get to the second phase and practice it more. And maybe I should just forget about getting the first phase perfect so I can actually do that, and then once I get a feel for the second phase, then try to do this perfectly. Ah. Oh, that shade is circling him. Okay, there we go. Okay, much better. No, I was so close. I forgot that phase with the Dragon Tooth Warriors even existed. That's how quickly I drain the health bar on these guys. Or this thing, whatever it is. Oh. There we go. Oh, forgot about the axe throw. Oh. I let him get too close. And I mistimed my invincibility frames too. There we go. Okay, now we need to switch magic. And recover our MP. Not sure how we're supposed to dodge that apart from... just being outside of their range, I guess. Okay, that's actually not too bad. Okay. I can high jump out of there. Solution found. Something new. Oh god. This is the end. Yes. Nihil's defeat. Oh wow, that's... Oh goodness. I don't have epilepsy and... Or, did I? I think I mispronounced it. I don't have epilepsy, and even I found that headache-inducing. Oh god. Those images flashed by way too fast and way too brightly.
Deed, going already? Yes, this is where we part ways. But you will live on forever in my memory. I see, so you've prepared yourself. It's actually sort of funny. When you faced death, what you feared, what you felt, I had almost forgotten. But wanting to traverse Lodos together with you once more, and everything else about you, how if only I could forget it all, it would be easier. I've just been running away from the truth. Parn, I love you.
From what little of the anime that I saw, they did not start off that way. Aha, and this is where she's actually been the whole time. Asleep.
It's morning. What happened? Was it all a dream? No, the touch of death I felt in battle, that was too alive and real to have been a dream.
Oh, and I don't have my abilities. Just like the last time I was here.
Miss Deed, it's been so long. How are you? You seem busy, Leaf. I'm doing well. That's good to hear. You'd been shut away for so long. The Elven Elders were saying that at this rate, you'd be taken away by the spirit of loneliness. The spirit of loneliness? I didn't really get details, but apparently it's a really rare higher-level spirit. Anyway, I'm just happy you're doing well. Hey, Leaf, Yes? I saw Parn. And then I fought Carla. Oh, and I fought Shooting Star as well. I even saw Beld. I spoke with King Cashua, too. Also, Miss Deed? Everyone knows that stuff. Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. Sorry, I just got a bit mixed up. Well, humans are forgetful creatures, but don't worry. The tale of Parn, Knight of Lodos, and the Lady Deedlit. Nobody has forgotten that. Oh yeah, about your adventure, why not turn it into a song? Then people could sing about it and keep the tale alive forever. A song.
Okay, and that's what the... I don't know what that instrument was called, but I saw it over in her room. Some... It's not a ukulele, because it's too small for that, right? I don't know much about music, so I could be very wrong here. Maybe I should just stop talking.
That's a good idea. I think I just might. All right then, it's settled. I'll bring some parchment and ink right away. Everyone knows that stuff, huh?
Can I go back in? Yes, I can. Yeah, this thing. Ah.
I see. So it was just me who didn't want to know. The end of the tale of Parn, Knight of Lodos. Parn, I'm going to sing your song. Goodbye, and thank you, my Parn.
So I guess this is his tombstone?
Deedlit eventually closed her eyes. As she felt the wind on her skin, she realized that this tale was not a dream at all. People do not live in the past. Knowing this, she can walk forward. This tale shall continue to be spun.
Surprisingly here, we actually have good punctuation. Yeah, I didn't forget. The narration at the beginning of the game was missing some commas and periods and ellipses. Boss Rush mode has been unlocked. Okay, you can now choose Boss Rush mode from the game data selection screen. So it's on my save file. All clear. Deedlit in Wonder Labyrinth, Record of Lodos War. Produced by Team Ladybug, Daichi Saito, Why So Serious? Alright. Not a bad game. A short adventure. It doesn't overstay its welcome. I would have liked for the bosses to be a little bit harder, but it's okay for what it is. Sometimes all a game has to be is something that's moderately challenging, tells a good enough story, and again, doesn't overstay its welcome. Oh boy, do I know games that overstay their welcome. Games that are longer than they need to be for all the wrong reasons. From what I read, this little animation window that we see on the left side of the screen apparently doesn't appear if you don't 100% the map before defeating the final boss. I guess it's pronounced nihil. I don't like that, because when you add the letters ISM, it becomes a word that's pronounced nihilism. And yet, without the ism, it's not pronounced nihil, it's pronounced nihil, I think. I'll actually have to look that up and confirm. But also, if you change the suffix, that's the other thing. If you change the suffix to ity, it doesn't become nihility, it becomes nihility. I'm pretty sure I looked up the pronunciation of that word before, and that one is actually dictionary pronunciation nihility. I think that's supposed to be a male character. Lady Deedlit! An age of war has descended once again! The Knight of Lodos is now needed more than ever! Where are you? I guess that's the next hero? Or, well, maybe he's dead. Alright. Let's see what this boss rush mode is about. So if I... Okay. And you can continue on your save file if you want to do... Let's see... Yep, we've got Parn's Sword. And I guess you can adventure through here if there's anything you forgot to get. And if you didn't 100% the map, you can go back and restart this fight. Yep, looks like it. Okay, so I was worried for nothing. I could have sworn I read somewhere online that if you don't get like all the 100% achievements before you finish the final boss, you have to start a whole new save file. But maybe that was just somebody misinformed posting. Okay, let's see what this boss rush mode is about. Oh. Looks like Mega Man X-style capsules, and if I go this way... Oh, I just exit the mode. Okay. Wait a minute. Can I? Is there anything in the main menu? No, nothing new there. Because I remember reading something about after you clear the game, you have something in here that lets you change, like, the difficulty of something, if I read it correctly. I don't see anything on the screen here that would indicate that. So I guess one remaining curiosity is what is the actual level cap? Because it's definitely not 53. That's not the kind of number that game developers like to stop on. They like to stop on nice round numbers like 50 or 60 or 100 or 99. Alright, let's try out Boss Rush, and then that'll be it for Deedlit and Wonder Labyrinth. And I might skip next Friday, but whenever we do our next Friday stream, it'll be Mega Man Battle Network 4 Blue Moon. And then Red Sun, either I will do after completing Blue Moon, or I will do it separately, but I don't want to do them in parallel like I did with Battle Network 3 Blue and White. That is one thing I'm certain of. So yeah, next week or maybe the week after. I think I'd like to take just a day off to... Oh. And I see I'm being timed. Oh, it's just like our Carla fight. Yeah, it's just like that one fight with Carla. Now I bet the higher my level, the easier this will be. There we go. Okay, who's next? Oh, too early. Now I can jump over those things. What was her weakness? Fire. And you were weak to, I think, darkness? Yeah, darkness is their greatest weakness. I can't tell if this is a male or female. Oh, they died. I think you're weak against darkness? No, you're immune to it. Exact opposite. You were weak to light as well. Oh. Weak to earth. You were weak to light. Or was it dark? No, weakest to wood and water, but wood worked best, from what I remember. I got too reckless there. That could have been bad. Okay, you were weak to light. Aww. There we go. Photos taken moments before disaster. Oh, it's over. Okay. There we go. Oh, you can't take damage. Oh, yes you can. bad. First try. Let's see what grade I get. That was a rank D. Okay, I guess that wasn't good enough. 8 minutes is not a good enough time. And here I was worried that I would S-rank it too quickly and have to play badly on purpose, because there are achievements for getting the S rank, A rank, and B rank for boss rush mode. Something that I found out earlier today. So yes, I was spoiled on the existence of a boss rush. But also, it's not surprising. I mean, we already had a boss rush in the form of that last Carla fight. But yeah, this is nice. Let's see what happens if I go to the... Let's see... Oh, and if I just go to boss rush mode, then it'll have my record. Yeah, best record, 8 minutes, 6 seconds, and 6.25, rank D. Okay. So yeah, that'll be something for me to entertain myself with, but I guess that is the end for Record of Lodos War, Deedlit in Wonder Labyrinth. I've already said my thoughts on it during the end credits. Not a bad game. I don't remember what the exact price of the game was, but not bad for 10-15 bucks, I'd say. If you see it on sale, the Steam Summer Sale is going on right now, so it probably is on sale. But yeah, if you see it on sale, and this is your kind of game, then definitely pick it up. Not a terrible game at all. Well made. It definitely has its flaws, don't get me wrong. We've got this travesty, everything being marked as new. Every time you re-encounter the enemies, yeah, that's... It would be so easy to fix, too. It would be so easy to fix, too, but I guess the developers have moved on to... have moved on to bigger and better things. So yeah, it's not without its flaws, but overall, not a bad title. There is so much garbage out there. Some of it garbage made with very, very big budgets, and something like this, which I'm pretty sure is developed by a really small indie team. Well, I guess the definition of indie might vary from person to person, but this wasn't made by like some big company. This was just made by a team that clearly wanted to make something decent. It's not a mind-blowing story. It's a story you've heard before in many forms, whether it be manga or anime or just regular fiction. Maybe you've seen a movie or two that is similar to the story of this game. So, it's not anything new, but it doesn't have to be. It's kind of like what I said about Soldiers. It's not this sort of out-of-the-world, mind-bending story that you have to see to believe. It's got a somewhat predictable narrative, but that's okay. I'd rather have a narrative be predictable and, you know, intuitive, something that doesn't trip over itself in its storytelling. I'd much rather have that than... Whoops, pressed the wrong button there. I'd much rather have something that doesn't, you know, try too hard to be something it's not. I'd much rather have a story that knows what it is and is coherent over something that tries to... What's the word I'm looking for? Something that tries too hard to wow you with, that shock factor. Something that leans too hard into the rule of cool and just ends up being soulless in the end. I'm glad this game is not that. It was enjoyable, and if the map was a little bit bigger or if the enemies were a little bit harder, I think I would have enjoyed it more, but not bad for what it is. So those are my closing thoughts. Hope you enjoyed watching this journey with me. Like I said before, the next time you see the Friday streams, it will be back to Mega Man Battle Network. We'll be doing Mega Man Battle Network 4 Blue Moon, because that's the one I played as a kid, and even then, I don't really remember much about the plot, because I barely played it. I did one completion of the story, and it ended kind of quickly, and it felt abrupt to teenage me, but it has been literally over a decade since I touched it, so we'll see. Maybe I'll take the story a little bit better this time around. But yeah, that's enough rambling from me. Take care, have fun. Don't forget to do your homework if you're doing any sort of summer studying, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, so I came back to this off screen and did the boss rush mode, made a few more attempts at it, and it didn't take too long for me to get the S rank, so I decided I'll just show the failed attempts as well. So I had about a week, actually, I guess a full week, to think about it, and figured that magic was the right strategy. It was just a matter of managing my mana. As you saw over there, Windstorm absolutely destroys Abram because his body is so big and takes up so much of the screen that he just takes damage from multiple hitboxes. I assume that's what happened there. Either that or my level is so high that it's taking him out quickly. These bosses are going down so quick I can't even find the time to comment on them. Another part of the strategy is holding off on picking up that Mana Crystal reward. It does disappear after some time, so don't stall for too long. You saw it was flickering there, it was about to go. But yeah, that's one way that you can extend the amount of mana that you have. And one other thing that I thought about was using that one sword that drains MP, and I do eventually use it on the final successful attempt. It helps a little. It's not crucial, but it can help. Another thing you could do if your mana's running low and you can't cast spells but you still have some amount of mana and you just need to shave off that last little bit of HP, which I did not end up doing, is you can just switch to some of those elemental bows. We saw bows that I never really used that already are assigned an element regardless of whether you're in fire or wind mode, right? We had one bow that only fires bows imbued, or arrows rather, imbued with the light element or the dark element, and I assume there's one for every element, but it's not like I read every single bow. But I would assume there's one for every element, so definitely you can take advantage of that too. And yeah, I think that's about all I have to comment on. So the first, I want to say, I think I did 2 or 3 attempts in total. So the first 2 attempts, maybe there was a third failed attempt in there, but the failed attempts, I failed because I died, because I was getting a little too reckless. But I think if I hadn't died in those previous attempts, I still would have gotten the S rank, because once I finally made it to the end, it was just that one attempt. I got the S rank, and as you'll see later, the achievements for the A rank and B rank also pop up, so it's not like you have to do it again. If you S rank it, you don't have to go back and play worse on purpose to get the A and B rank achievements. You actually get all three just for S ranking it once. So that was nice. Yeah, here I was being reckless. I wasn't even trying to dodge her attacks, really, and that was a fatal mistake because she kept on binding me and making me dizzy and all that, and I was so out of sorts. I was switching elements when I didn't need to. And there you go. That was our first failure. Oh, and I guess one more thing for your strategy is level. I'm at level 54, and you level up as you do this because these guys give you experience points. So I did look it up, and the level cap is actually 99. I looked at the Steam community pages for the game, and someone actually farmed those reviving Dragon Tooth warriors and found that the level cap is 99, and your experience counter still goes up after that point, apparently, but your level just stays at 99, so there you go, that's the level cap. If you feel like leveling up a little bit might help give you the damage boost you need to get this done, then go right ahead, but as you'll see, we don't need that at all here. I'm able to pull this off at level 53 to 55-ish, I think is the range. I think I started at 53, I don't remember. I'll have to look at it again once I start my next failed attempt, because I'm pretty sure it doesn't save the levels I gain from this. If I fail, at least. I'll have to see if I keep the levels on a successful attempt. That, I imagine, is probably a yes. Okay, this girl is weak to fire, but hitting her with it is a little bit hit or miss. But we saw all their weaknesses last time, or I guess it would be this time if you're watching the video, because I'm attaching this to the end of our final episode. Here, only little problem is that she summons those hounds, and, well, I assume the demon god is a she. It kind of looked feminine to me. I don't remember if we read the entry on the demon god to make sure. But anyway, well, regardless of whether it's a he or a she, those, whatever they were called, bloodhound summons or whatever they are, they sometimes get targeted by your dark magic, so try to jump in the air in order to avoid that and make sure that they hit the boss itself. That'll save you a little bit of time. And I think this was where I actually started throwing in a couple of sword swings, because, yeah, why wasn't I doing that? Throw in a couple of sword swings, it shaves a little bit of health here and there. It can make a difference, especially for the ones with higher health bars. And there you can see I missed out on that mana crystal I was saving. Yeah, that happens a lot with some of these later bosses. With Beld, I think I completely forgot his weakness for a minute there. Not that forgetting is so costly. One hit and you can see their weakness displayed on the screen. And I think I ran out of mana on this attempt, and that's what did me in. Yeah, I think... No? This wasn't it? Then I guess I have 3 failed attempts, because there was a failed attempt where I ran out of mana and couldn't summon any more rocks to use against him. At least if I'm remembering correctly. Or maybe I was just mashing the button and not getting the effect because I already had rocks floating around me that needed to go first. Maybe that's what actually happened. Here, I had a little bit of a mana crisis, as you can see, but thankfully Ashram gives us all this fire that we can use to regain some MP. But I think he kills me here because I was being a bit too reckless. I was trying so hard to end it quickly because I didn't know what the time limit is for the S rank, so I was just trying to go as fast as I could, and I didn't even know, going at that pace, if I was even going to get a B rank, let alone an S rank. I was going into this completely blind. But yeah, Abram's a joke with Windstorm. And then... oh, this was the winning attempt, yes. So I switched to the magic sword here. Could have done some optimizing with my bow as well. But yeah, you can wipe out Ifrit with Windstorm pretty much immediately. And there he is gone. And then the hard part with, what's his name, Jin, is remembering to switch elements so that his attacks don't hurt you. That's something that I was forgetting to do, and he was interrupting my attacks on him, but there you go. Whacking enemies with the sword, every hit recovered, I believe it was 2 mana? I know I do it here on this guy. I know I throw in a few sword swipes. Yeah, you can't really see it amongst the flurry of numbers, but there's a later boss where you can see it a little bit more clearly. I think it was the number that showed was 2 mana recovered per swipe, which doesn't sound like a lot, but you can swipe the sword pretty quickly, so it adds up. And combine that with your natural mana recovery. With Carla, just remember that she does the disappearing act twice before you can actually hit her. And then I think the next time she does the disappearing act, you can hit her immediately after she pops out the first time, so you don't have to wait twice for that next teleport phase. And there you go. Blouse is done. I think Belle was next. Oh, no. Yeah, got right. And then I think it's Belle. So I think here, yeah, I made sure to jump to kind of direct my attacks on the boss itself and ignore the hounds. Oh, and then Piratus and then Belt. No? Yeah. It's hard to remember the order of these bosses. But you don't have to be perfect to get the S rank. So the S rank clear, I cleared in, I think it was like 5 minutes, 55 seconds or something like that. So you don't have to be perfect, and you'll definitely see me mess up on this next fight against Ashram. There are a lot of opportunities where I could have dodged an attack and ended up wasting time because of it, and I was kind of stressing out and worried that I wasn't going to get a decent rank, but fortunately I did well enough. That attack with the falling rocks, I think that caused me some trouble in one of the previous attempts, but I wasn't paying attention, so I forgot to comment on it. So yeah, here I was spamming Dryad without really waiting for the best opportunities. It was a suboptimal use of the strategy. I was just trying to get it done as quickly as possible. And I think at some point my mana starts to run low, so that's another issue that we had here. Oh, no, never mind. But yeah, some suboptimal plays, I almost died there. Fortunately, with Ashram's second form over here, you can actually skip the phase where he does the whole turning into two clouds and spinning across the screen, spinning around the whole screen. I was able to bypass that, so yeah. And there you can see those twos when I was hitting him with the sword. I believe that represents the amount of mana that you recover by hitting people with the magic sword. Here I forgot the weakness of these guys for a minute, and yeah, I tried hitting them with light, which obviously didn't work. We lost a little bit of time there, but not too much, and we were having some mana troubles, but fortunately this boss fight gives us a way to recover mana pretty easily. Only thing is, when we get that temporary invincibility from casting Shade, it prevents us from recovering mana. So, yeah. I was a little worried about that, but it actually wasn't too much of a problem. I was still able to keep spamming Shade. And there's that boss done. And now we go after the final boss, Nihil. Turns out you can actually hit him during this phase, something I found out thanks to my Spirit of Fire auto-attacking him. I saw the damage number and was like, oh, he's vulnerable during this, I don't have to wait. And so I went for it. I hovered, trying to recover mana. There you see all those twos behind Deedlit's head, representing the mana recovered a little bit more clearly this time. And yeah, this one wasn't too bad. Just stay under the eye and keep spamming Undine and change your elements if need be, and try to remember to dodge those, whatever they are, stone eyeballs. And the other thing is try not to tap the switch element button too much, because that button is sensitive. There's no cooldown on it. When you switch elements, if you double tap, then you switch back and make yourself vulnerable to the very element that you were trying to absorb. But yeah, there you go, and the achievements pop up. Oh, I did better than 555. But timer still goes during this death animation, which I don't think that's fair, but there you go. All three achievements for S rank, A rank, and B rank pop. And of course, the achievement that indicates that you got all the other previous achievements. So, yeah, there it is. Not too hard. You don't have to be perfect. I definitely wasn't perfect there, and I still got the S rank. You do have to work for it, but it's not, like, absurdly hard. It's not... You don't have to be perfect. You have to work for it, but you don't have to be perfect. And yeah, there you go. That is the conclusion to Deedlit in Wonder Labyrinth. Hope you enjoyed that guide, and Until the next game, take care.